To you.
Great day. Welcome to the House of Cons. I'm Black Jack. Boy, with me one more time. Salute to everybody in the house. Salute. Hey, got a good show lined up. Talk to y'all one more time. I know I've been chilling for the last couple days, several days. We ain't really been popping out too much. I just been kind of busy doing stuff I got to do, you know. But we back one more time, though. Salute. We back one more time. But my soundboard ain't here. I've been gone so long, my soundboard froze up again. Salute to everybody in the house. Y'all do me a favor, hit a like, subscribe, share the video if you rocking with the House of Cons. Y'all see the title of the show? Y'all see the thumbnail? Because European carvers had never seen a Native American. Now I know some people that don't really know what's going on. They probably like, well, what does that mean? What that title mean? Well, you know, hey, truth be told in the house. Yeah, we about to have some late night dinner. Truth be told, salute the truth be told. But yeah, you know, that's the claim, and the claim is that they never seen what first off, let's say why they say that. Because people have done the research about these cigar store Indians that we looking at on the thumbnail, and they find out that, you know, the most collectible ones, the most ancient ones, the original ones was of the American Negroes. So the original cigar store Indians was American Negroes. So they have to explain this. They say, well, they're Negroes because European carvers had never seen a Native American. That's what they say. That's the cover-up. Because if anybody do research about the cigar store Indians, you can't help but find out that the first ones, the original ones they made, the first ones they made was the Negroes. And those are the most collectible ones, those are the most expensive ones. Now they'll say, well, those were made by European carvers, and those carvers had never seen the Native American. They'll say the ones that were made in America, they say those are the real ones. That's what they say. But when you analyze that bogus excuse, it don't make one bit of sense. Because, you know, lies don't never make sense. When somebody lying, they got to add on and make up lies. Because think about it. Let's start off with the lie. European carvers had never seen Native Americans. Well, why would they carve them? Salute. Why? Like, all right. Say if you was a crime investigator artist, right? And they said, hey, somebody came and robbed the bank. And the first thing the crime artist gonna say is describe that person, right? And then they gonna try to draw up an artistic rendering of what they think the suspect looked like. And some of them be real accurate. Some of them don't be too accurate, but a lot of them be real accurate, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, the police sketch. They ask a witness of the crime or the victim, hey man, tell me what it looked like. They say he was a white guy, he had long straight hair, he looked like Scooby-Doo. And then that's what they draw. And then they find the suspect. So they don't just say, well, guess what he looked like and make up something. Well, maybe they do sometime. But I'm just trying to make a point. Why would a European carver, why would not just one carver, why would thousands of European carvers all carve something they so-called never seen, right? Why would they all do that? Why would they make thousands of these why would they first make thousands of American Negro Indian cigar store Indians? Why would they do that if they never seen them? And think about it now. They started making cigar store Indians in the 1600s. Columbus came here in 1492. Columbus kidnapped and enslaved some American Indians and took them back to Europe in 1493. So how could they say that European carvers never saw Native Americans, especially by the 1600s, the late 1600s? Columbus came in 1492, took American Indians back in 1493. The late 1600s would be going on 200 years later. You mean to tell me in 200 years almost, European carvers had never seen Native Americans? Let's break down the lie first before we even get into the lesson. Why would you carve something you never saw? And why would they all carve the same thing almost? They carve Negroes and they have these fanciful feather headdress and other fanciful features. And it's always the same thing. They usually have no shirt on. They'll usually have a feather loincloth, a feather headdress, and they'll usually have a quiver pack strapped across their chest with the arrows on their back. Then they have old pearls and other things, other details that have feathers or gold armbands and leg bands. Sometimes they all carve the same thing basically. And they'll be holding a tobacco roll, a tobacco leaf. They all carve the same thing. So like when they tell us the bogus lie that European carvers had never saw American Indians, you got to understand why are they saying that lie. That lie is to cover up the fact that the original ones are the Negroes. Is to cover up the fact that the American Indian is the Negro. The history of the cigar store Indian. Now look, so we know tobacco is major all around the planet. We know this. Tobacco is major. Hey, Craig R in the house, salute. Yeah, that's facts. They say the Indian Wars was from 1609 1809, and they claim they never saw a Native American. Yeah, it's so stupid that excuse, and it's a lot of people out here that they run with that excuse, especially if they think they're the people that's $5 Indians. They the ones that
sit your $5
they
ass
the
down
ones
before I
that
make
run with
change.
that excuse. Yeah, man. See, they was black because the European carvers ain't know what the Indians look like in the 1600s. Man, they talking crazy, and so we just it's an obvious cover up to hide the fact that it was the Negro. Now here we go. They show the fake ones. Look, see, like this ain't worth the wood it's carved on. Salute. But it's telling you the rich history of the cigar store Indian statue goes back as far as the 1600s. It still holds an important place for cigar shops in the U.S. In the 1600s, see, because in the 1600s they didn't look like this. It wasn't no cigar store Indians looking like this in the 1600s. They all look like this. All the cigar store Indians from the 1600s look like this. Not like this. And here go they hijack. In the 1600s, as ships from America began to bring tobacco to England, cigar shop owners displayed carved Indians in front of their stores as symbols of the introduction to tobacco by Native Americans. American Indians were the original subjects. All right, we're talking original now for the figures. Native American Indians were the original subjects for the figures, real Indians. Because they had, after all, introduced Christopher Columbus and his crew to tobacco. And even that statement, man, we can pull up cigar store advertisement that kind of match that. Like this one. See, this is crazy because people stupid, man. And I be like, man, y'all believe fairy tales and the truth is right in front of your eyes. And you don't have to be that smart to decipher the truth or what really went down. Now look at this, man. Hold on. Oh, don't. Here we go. They want to hijack. Come on, computer. Don't do it to me tonight. It's late night. Act right. But even they say the Indians gave Columbus and his crew tobacco as gifts. We know it's true. We done did the research. Yeah, they load and load and load. And, all right, we'll go back to what we're doing. Get that on time to load, man. See, they get mad sometime at this research. It's all good because it is what it is, man. But they say the owners displayed carved Indians in front of their stores as a symbol of the introduction of tobacco by Native Americans. American Indians were the original subjects for the figures because they had, after all, introduced Christopher Columbus and his crew to tobacco. The early carvings were made by artisans who had never seen a Native American. See, there's the hijack. Because they know people gonna read this and say American Indians were the original subjects for the figures because they had, after all, introduced Christopher Columbus and his crew to tobacco. And then they turn right around and they know somebody gonna say, well, wow, let's see some of these early tobacco Indians. And then they see this and they gonna say, wait a minute. Know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna say. Even they gonna say, wait a minute. They gonna see that and say, no, hold up, that's a Negro. So there here go their explanation. Well, the early carvings, even though we just told you that the original subjects for the figures was American Indians, they gonna turn around and say, well, the early carvings were made by artisans who had never seen a Native American. Therefore, the statues look more like black men or Virginians with feathered headdresses, wearing kilts. Look, they know they was feathered kilts. They gonna say, but they said feathered headdresses with feathered headdresses, and they say wearing kilts made of tobacco. Now them kilts was feathers too. Eventually, the European tobacco shop figure began to take on a more authentic, quote unquote, authentic look. So you see the hijack. Hey, salute the feathered dragon in the house, salute. So you see the hijack. They say, well, we know that you're going to find out that the original cigar store Indian was American Negroes, black people, or Virginians, that we called them. Because Virginia in America is the virgin land. So we call these Negroes Virginians. We called them Los Indios. And they're going to say they eventually took on a more authentic look. This is they hijack. This is how they hijack. How come the first ones are Negroes? They tell you that, then they say, well, the European carvers, they never saw one, so they were just making shit up, basically. This is what they want you to believe here. This how they want. They hope you dumb enough to believe that. They really hoping you dumb enough to believe a whole bunch of European carvers. They might as well have been blind. They might as well have been blindfolded and just carving whatever. And they say, oh, they just make them N-words. You really believe that? You got to be crazy if you believe that simple lie. I can't help you. I'm just being honest. I can't help nobody that believe that lie and can't see through that obvious cover up. Well, the first ones, they was only black because, these racist ass carvers from Europe, they ain't know how Indians look, so they made them niggas. I was born at night, but goddamn it, I wasn't born last night. So I was not born last night. It took on a more authentic look by the 18th century. 100 years later, the statues had become completely Indian in the Americas. Yeah, they say we gotta tell these, we done enslaved the real Indians. We done made the real Indians slaves. We gotta tell them they Africans now. We know they enslaved 5 million American Indians. And we know in the 1600s what the tobacco ass looked like with our folks sharing the plant with Europeans like Christopher Columbus and his crew, like we just read, like the Virginian. We already know what the deal is. See, this history, I mean, the truth is what it is, man. You talking about tobacco leaves and they killed. Man, stop it. I mean, people really still going with this? Are we gonna ever just be honest? Is society gonna ever be honest, man? The history right there in our face. We know you enslaved the Indians. We know the Indians introduced tobacco to the world. We know the Indians was Negroes. Are we ever gonna be honest? We're just gonna keep lying and acting like it's a whole nother deal. We know the Indians gave the Europeans tobacco on your little ship and you took it back to Europe. And then you got a little too greedy and you came and enslaved the Indians. We know what the hell happened. So I don't know why they think they can get away with this lie, talking about the early carbons were made by artisans who had never seen the Native American. That is bogus as hell. You can't be more bogus than believe something. You might as well believe in Santa Claus and the fairy tale if you believe that BS. Talking about a European carver. What? So the European carvers was blind? European carvers ain't never seen a Native American? So they made them black? And that's just so you gonna make that excuse for the carvers, huh? You gonna say these carvers they never seen a Native American. That's why they all made them black with feathers on their kilt, and they all made them look the same. They never saw a Native American carved and painted in Europe, and these the first ones. Sold for $2,600. I wish I would have bought them. Let's just show where he was made at, man. Where's the description? Hold on. Look, probably Dutch. Oh, the Dutch carvers never saw a Native American, huh? The Dutch carvers never saw one. They was over there colonizing their ass off and enslaving Indians and stealing tobacco, but they never saw one, huh? Carved and painted cigar store Indian. Who made this one? The Dutch. The Dutch made that other one. I guess the Dutch never saw a nigga, huh? The niggas they was enslaving, they never saw them. The Dutch. All you niggas that smoke Dutch masters, your Dutch master ain't my master. 19th century wooden countertop Native American. Who made them? Who made this one? They request more information. But the point I'm trying to make, man, for all these people to be these different cigar store carvers to literally be carving the same image basically, but you could tell these were actual people because they all the statues they look different in the face. They look like a whole different person, and they just told us that they was based on real American Indians. They said the original ones was. Now you know that this ain't based on no real damn person. This goofy looking MF, this ain't based on nothing real right here. You know this based on fakeness. Look at this. Who name the person he based on? You can't. Somebody gonna say, well, you can't name the N words these are based on. Well, we might can't. Well, we know at least these look like real. These look like they got different facial features, like they was different actual people. They say in an old black, they say cigar store figure countertop ending with clay pipe and white and red and black feathers. Man, that's white, red, and blue fool. You ain't fooling me. They gonna talk about white, red, and black. That's white, red, and blue. I ain't stupid. I don't just buy what they say. I can see for myself and an alligator finish. They talking about an alligator finish. Man, these fools wow. That was in 2012 when they auctioned that one off. They ain't say nothing else about them. I want to say they should have said who made them. We saw the Dutch. They say the Dutch ain't know. They go a Poetin. They go a Poetin right here. The Poetin nigga. They salute the Enoch 0407 in the house. Salute. It say cigar store Indian, lightly meant to portray a Poetin leader, made in 1750 in the shop in England. So England and the Dutch made the same mistake. It's a Poetin. We just did a live stream about the Poetin. We just did a damn live stream about the Poetin. That was the last live stream. And that was the actual tobacco. In that live stream, I was trying to remember the tobacco statue to pull up, just for the comparison. The show that it's the N word, the Naga. Yeah, yeah, right there. The Passpernade. Yeah, we just did the one on the Passpernade about a week ago. The Passpernade is the Poeton, Managa, and the Poeton is the N word, Managa. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, people can say whatever they want, but when you able to line up this many different sources that's showing you that the Poeton or the Passpernade is the N word, they're talking about likely meant to portray a Puritan leader. So and this made in England. They didn't say that the English carver didn't know what a Puritan leader looked like, or American Indian looked like. They were specific. They said, nah, not only do the English carver know what American Indian looked like, he gonna be specific and tell you this a Puritan leader or the Passpernade. He gonna be very specific and tell you. And that's why even in this post, oh man, come on, man, my junk be acting. Not this post. Wrong post right there. Hey, by the way, man, Biblical Fox, man, y'all here wildly, man. Y'all here wildly, Biblical. Auntie Biblical, you need to chill. You need to chill, all right, Viv. All right, Viv, chill. Where's that? This post. The Puritan is the Passpernade. And they tried to hijack this image and put a $5 Indian there and erase the black man. The Passpernade Indians. The Passpernade Chief Puritan. Passpernade Indians Chief Puritan, Managa. The Puritan, Naga. Negroes. You can't deny it. It cannot be denied. The Virgin Land, Virginians, the Negroes, the Passpernade, the Puritan. So they can say European carvers didn't know what they looked like. So they did a remix and they tried to make them like the $5 Indians now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make changes.
And people goofy enough to believe this nonsense, man. That's like you woefully ignorant. If you believe this nonsense at this point, I just believe you're being woefully ignorant. I mean, like, I can't give you nothing else. They say by the 1850s, American cities was growing in size and there were more tobacco stores. This is the time when the cigar store Indian began appearing on American streets. See, it was in Europe first. Of course it was in Europe first. You know, tobacco wasn't nothing new over here. They took it over to Europe. So, of course, that's where the carving started at. Because they said it was exotic. They said, dang, they done brought this loud pack over here. Who was these Nagas? They said, we brought a couple on back with us. We're going to slave them. They said this is the time when the cigar store industry began appearing on American Street. Due to the level of illiteracy and a large non-English speaking population, a large group of damn immigrants. Shop owners use figures, emblems, and symbols to advertise their wares. Barbershops displayed the iconic barbershop red and white pose, and tobacco shops placed a wooden Indian in front of the store for advertisement. And see, this started in Europe. America just did the same thing. They were like, hey, if it's working in Europe, they're making that money. All the colonizers coming over here, all the indentured slaves, they can't read either, looking real dusty. They were like, but we can't put, they were like, but over here in America, we can't put these N-words in front of the store. We done enslaved them. We got to start telling them they Africans now. After they elders die off, and we split them up, the families and whatever, and we put them through slavery. The babies ain't gonna know. We just start we re-educate them. We the enemy educated by their enemies. Teach them they from somewhere else. Tell them they from anywhere in Africa. We don't even know where they from in Africa. Just say anywhere. It don't matter. Tell them we don't know. If they start getting too nosy and ask about a slave ship, tell them they all shipwrecked and we ain't got one. Or if they get frustrated with that, go out there and grab any old piece of 2x4 that's floating down the ocean and say, here you go, nigga, I found a slave ship. Tell them anything. And hopefully they dumb enough to believe it. Say we couldn't put them in America. We got these niggas as slaves from Africa now. Most of the men who called cigar store Indians came from a shipbuilding background where they specialized in sculpting decorative wooden figureheads for a prow of a ship. Generally, the figureheads and stone sculptures were from a single piece of wood. The cigar store Indian statues are often three-dimensional wooden carvings commonly made of white pine, several feet tall, some life-size, and some as tall as 7 feet. Now, you ask yourself, this person did all this studying who wrote this, and they still put the fake-ass Indian up. Why didn't they put the original ones up? You just claim that the European carvers didn't know what American Indian looked like. Why you ain't show they work though? Okay, we believe you. We believe you that the European carvers didn't know what a Native American looked like. Show us what they made. Well, just take our word for it. We don't need to show you. We don't need to show you what these original was that they claim they never saw an American Indian before. 200 years after Columbus. All this evidence stacked on top of each other like you ain't got no damn common sense. Hey, main Bond in the house, salute. Huh. Let's keep going. They say life size of some as tall as 7 feet. The more expensive and rare metal statues were mostly made of zinc. Both metal and wood statues were hand painted. See, hand painted. So you ain't got no reason, if they was white, you ain't got no reason not to made them white. They say the most common types of statues are the noble savage. See? Oh yeah? The most common type of statues was the noble savage. And we ain't even talking about clocks. We talking about tobacco Indians. See, this where you kill them at too, because you can just play the game with them. Oh yeah, okay. The Carvers ain't know what they look like. We believe you. Yeah, you call it the noble savage, huh? And then it don't take nothing but 1 second to say, all right, especially for somebody that know French noble savage clocks, man. So now you got to try to lie again. All somebody got to do is put the French noble savage clocks of the 1800s and click on it, and they going to say, now wait a minute. So the clock, now you got to turn around and tell me the clock makers never saw a Native. Now you said the Europe, you said the Dutch and the English tobacco Indians stole Indian wood carvers. You said they never saw a Native American. You said nothing about the French clock makers. So now you gonna tell me not only did the Dutch and the English tobacco stole Indian carvers not know when they accidentally made niggas, the French clock makers accidentally made niggas too, and they called it the noble savage too. The pendule our nigga. They made the same mistake, huh? The clock makers, the tobaccos, everybody just willy-nilly making niggas, huh? I was born at night, man. I wasn't born last night, damn it. Most statue held tobacco or held leaves painted on their clothing. Those weren't leaves. They held tobacco, wasn't leaves on their clothing. Those are feathers. The demise of an icon. I wonder why it demise. Eventually, the cigar store Indian would lose to popularity with retailers around 1890. The city streets in America were becoming increasingly populated. By 1911, cities began passing obstruction laws requiring at least 2 feet of open space. Yeah, make whatever excuse y'all want to, man. Look, somebody look, 2019, somebody put checking with antique dealers and possibly trying to Google cigars so Indians may provide some clues. Where can I purchase a wooden cigar store Indian? Okay. Like statue like the one you use in your history. He want one to $5 statue. It's easy to get one of these El Cheapos. That's an El Cheapo. You can get one of them real easy. Nobody care about them. Long ass double Dutch chin having ass, Superman jaw having ass, old Habsburg chin looking motherfucker. This ain't no Native American. You want one of these cheap ass? You better go get the real deal, nigga. You talking about this cheap ass bullshit here? They tell the same old, like, man, I be so frustrated by these lies, man. These lies, Nicotine. They say, at the time the sign was made, the Porton Confederacy had been destroyed and its people enslaved for decades. See, man, why the $5 Indians?
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Notice the $5 Indians don't identify with slavery. You know that it's only one group of people in the United States of America that identify with slavery. I wonder who those people are. Only one group of people. It's only one group of people in the United States that identify with slavery. And they ancestors. I wonder who are these people? Who is these N-words that's been enslaved for eons? Who are they? With his nappy hair. They say the history of nicotine marketing stretches back centuries. Nicotine marketing has continually developed new techniques in response to historical circumstances, societal and technological change, and regulation. Counter-marketing has also changed in both message and commonness over the decades, often in response to pro-nicotine marketing. Yeah, you say that. We know why you changed the messaging. The coughing, throat irritation, and shortness of breath caused by smoking are obvious, and tobacco was criticized as unhealthy long before the invention of the clinical study. A counterblast of tobacco. Hey, that's funny they mentioned the counterblast because they still showing the N-words in the counterblast of tobacco written by King James, bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? Bitch ass King James.
Bitch.
He wrote in 1604, and he got the same kind of black niggas that's in them advertisements in 1604 talking about the niggas and Indians, talking about the nigga Indians and tobacco. Way back in 1604. In 1800, the first known nicotine advertisement in the U.S. was for the snuff and tobacco products and was placed in the New York Daily Paper in 1789. At the time, American tobacco markets were local. Customers would generally request tobacco by quality, not brand name, until after the 1840s. Yeah, see, they skipped on right past you N-word. You got a white man there. Well, boy, they left you N-words out. Why they ain't show that? See, you can't. See, this is where you lose credibility. You want to talk about the history of tobacco, and then show us a bunch of white people, and then you want to show us a fake Indian. You're losing credibility, especially when we know. You know, you started off with this. You started off on the right foot. Talking about they ain't know. Then you going to turn around here and say it's likely meant to portray a poison leader. I know who it's meant to portray. I know damn well who it's meant to portray. The cigar store Indian, a wooden Indian, is an advertisement figure in the likeness of a Native American, used to represent tobacconists. The figures are often three-dimensional wooden sculptures measuring from several feet tall. And you know, it's funny about this stuff too, because like the stuff that they say in this stuff is easy to point it out. It's like right here when they say introduce tobacco, it say owners displayed carved Indians in front of their stores as a symbol of the introduction to tobacco by Native Americans to Europeans, right? It's so easy to pull up the examples when you're looking at our history. When you're looking at our history, the examples are right there. Hold on. Let me go back out here. I mean, it's examples of the Indians introducing tobacco to Europeans. They right there. I mean, they right in everything that they saying in the stuff we reading. It's showing you in these ads and everything from the same dates, from the times, from the history, the historical truth. It's one in particular I wanted to pull up. I got it saved in my catalog, but it's the nigga sharing the tobacco with it. This one, this it. But that ain't the whole pic. Where the whole pic at? All right, let me pull up the whole pic. Pull up the whole pic. Where the whole pic at? That's crazy. Why they got? See, it's crazy how they edited the nigga out. They edited the Indian out. Where's that again? That's the picture I wanted to pull up. I wanted to pull up the whole picture though, because that picture is the definition of what they talking about when they say that the Indians introduced tobacco to Europeans. Where that picture at, man? I can't even think. I know that picture too because I got it in my file, but I'm trying to remember the name of the picture. The actual picture got a name. It's like all of them do. It's on this advertisement. Damn, man, where is that picture? I want to put it up. Let me go to Virginia. There you go, right here. This picture, he got this tobacco in his hand. He doing this what I'm saying, man. In their history, the white people and the fake Native Americans, the $5 Indians, Dawes Road Indians, fake Cherokees, they history don't line up with the history. It's just told us. It said in the 1600s, as ships from America began to bring tobacco to England. Ships from America. It's a ship in the background usually on these pictures. But on this one in particular, it say it began to bring tobacco to England. Cigar store owners displayed carved Indians in front of their stores as a symbol of the introduction to tobacco by Native Americans. A symbol of the introduction of tobacco to Europeans by Native Americans. And then they got the nigga again in his feathers. You gotta be blind or woefully ignorant not to see this. It say American Indians were the original subjects for the figures, because they had, after all, introduced Christopher Columbus and his crew to tobacco. I mean, what this look like? Feather Dragon say the plug. Facts, the plug. I mean, do this not look like somebody introducing tobacco to somebody, to some Europeans? And according to the European carvers and to the French clockmakers, this person that's introducing tobacco is an Indian. It's the real American Indian. And they got enslaved. And somehow, only one group of people in America identify with slavery. All the ads and pictures line up. It said the early carvings were made by artists who had never seen a Native American. So that's why they were. Therefore, the statues look more like niggas or Virginians with feather headdresses wearing kilts made of tobacco. Eventually, the European tobacco shop figure began to take on a more quote authentic look by the late 18th century, by the late almost 200. So they started making them in the late 1600s, but it took all the way to the late 1700s before they started switching them out and they whitewashed them. It say generally the figures and store sculptures were from a single piece of wood. The Cigar Store Indian statues are often three-dimensional wood carvings commonly made of white pine. The more expensive and rare metal statues were mostly made of zinc. Both metal and wood statues were hand-painted. The most common types of statues are the noble savage, with a passive stoic expression, and the warrior brandishing a weapon. Most statues held tobacco or had leaves. Most statues held tobacco or had leaves, huh? Just like the damn advertisement. This ain't a statue right here. This is an advertisement. What they was blindfolded to? They was over here blindfolded just colonizing their ass off, huh? Right line right up. How come the fake Native Americans? How come your shit don't line up?
I make change.
Shit don't line up with history. You always talking about we on the freedman rolls because your ancestors enslaved ours. How come you wasn't no slave? You say you a Native American, you supposed to have been a slave. The common sense must not be too common. I'm tired of them lying to us, man. I'm tired of them lying to us and thinking somebody's gonna just believe this bogus ass excuses. And I'm tired of people coming at us because they so dumb to believe it. They think we supposed to believe it too. If you dumb, you dumb. In my eyes, you dumb by choice. And like, if you dumb, you can't get mad because I called you dumb. You. Don't you want me to lie to you? I'm not a liar. I'm not into lying. You can't get mad somebody call you dumb if you're being dumb. You can't even get mad if somebody call you fat if you're fat. You can't get mad if somebody call you broke if you broke. You can't get mad if somebody call you dirty if you dirty. You can't get, if it's the truth, you can't get mad. The original Cigar Store Indians that you're talking about were carved in Europe because they had never seen a Native American. Kevin Hill in the house, salute. See, man, and then get mad. I still be giving people some slack, even when they come with the dumb shit. I still give them some slack. I simply say, hey, man, look, man, the original Cigar Store Indians are black because the real American Indians is black. That's all I said. I wasn't even on no bullshit. But this person who wanted to play victim after I started calling them dumb after they kept pestering me. I said what I said. You want to keep, I didn't call you dumb right away, Miss Donna. You brought your goof ass on my comments trying to explain to me some hijacked reason that I already know plenty about. Talking about. And then you took black out and you put the word African in. You thought you was slick with that. And you took out fancy featherful features and stuff. You took out a lot of key words. And you insinuated what you wanted. The original Cigar Store Indian that you're talking about. You telling me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Bitch, you got the right one. Because they had never seen a Native American. The early carvings looked more like Africans. These carvings were called black boys or Virginians. The blackamoor. is a type of European art depicting a man or woman of sub-Saharan African and is now considered racist. The cigar store Indians in America look like Native Americans. That make you feel better? Hey, Papa Short in the house, salute. If that make you feel better, if that's what it takes to make you sleep well at night, then so be it. That's what you need, then. Cause you can live a lie all you want to, and that's just you. You want to live a lie. That's you. I wasn't even, and then you want to come playing victim. That, man, you want to come playing victim like I just came and attacked you, and you know that damn well that ain't what happened. You know that damn well. That's why I had to show everybody your bullshit. You come talking about, so because I researched the clocks. You ain't researched no damn clocks. That's how I know you a dingbat. That's how I know this woman is a dingbat. You can't even keep up with the conversation. We was talking tobacco Indians, not clocks. I threw the clocks in there to prove a point to you. You talking about somebody that was blind or never seen a Native American. I said, well, explain the clockmakers then. I gave you the tobacco Indian. I said, okay, you can have that. I said, you can say all the Carvers on the whole planet was blind. You can have that. Let's get to the clocks now. So you playing checkers and I'm playing chess. You think you done studied something. So because I researched the clocks and you didn't like what I found, you made a post of my comment on your channel calling me an idiot.
You big dummy.
Make it make sense. Otherwise, it's easy to assume you're just a bully attacking anyone that doesn't agree with you. No, you kept coming. I just told you I told you stop lying about my ancestors, that they was Negroes because they was black, and you kept pestering me. So now I had to call you an idiot because you was just, I know you wasn't even trying to be reasonable. You wasn't even trying to have an understanding of the subject. You were being disrespectful to me and to the history. I just showed you something that you could have just said from an unbiased point of view and said, well, wow, that does make sense. But you so dumb with your head up your ass and living a lie. You didn't research the clocks. You came regurgitating lies you found on Google about tobacco Indians. We are tired of people lying about our identity based on historical racist lies. And then I showed you, Donna, where you got that stupid ass answer from. Because European Carvers had never seen a Native American, these early cigar store Indians look more like Africans with feathered head. Notice how she left out with feathered headdresses and other fanciful exotic features. She conveniently left that out. Eventually, the European cigar store figures began to take on a more authentic. Bitch, you gonna have to get up early in the, if you come for me. Like, first off, I'm not the one you want to debate or argue with, because first off, I don't argue or debate unless I know I'm going to win. If I know I ain't going to win, I'm going to just walk the fuck off. I'm not even finna argue with you or debate you if I know I ain't going to win. I'm going to walk the fuck off. That's your dumb ass. Want to argue an argument that you can't win. Cut that shit out. Stupid ass. Dumb as fuck. What an idiot. See, that's what she mad about. They be mad about the roast. They ain't even mad about me showing them the true history. They mad about the roast. She talking about look more like Africa. This is what she mad about. Talking about somebody to bully. She mad because I said lie my ass off. They regurgitating politically correct lies. And I call her what, an idiot down here. And a big dummy. And that's what she really mad for. She mad because of the roast that went on. Cause fam, you acting like a big dummy and you steady coming on some shit. I ain't asked you to come over here. I'm doing me. Make your own motherfucking channel and blast them lies. Don't come trying to correct my truth with your lies. And so I had to keep going. See me, I'm gonna kick you when you're down. You know what I'm saying? You get down, I'm gonna kick your ass a couple times. And I wanna make sure you dead. I want to make sure you dead before I walk away. So I'm gonna say, yeah, the Carvers, huh? So bitch, I will show you the carving. I will show you a real naga. I will show you an advertisement. I will show you a clock, and I will show you a map, all with the same fucking thing. And you want to argue with me? You are dumb. And then a box
You
of
big
rocks.
dummy.
You are dumb. You are very dumb. Don't argue with me.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. Got him! And I ain't playing, nigga.
Go argue with your deadbeat ass daddy, bitch.
You big dummy.
Don't argue with me. Don't argue with me about something that I got years and years into. You think you done read a Wikipedia overnight because I pointed you into a certain direction. Talking about European carvers never saw a Native American. Do you know how dumb you sound? Explain this then. Those European carvers saw some damn body. And I'm not blind. See, one thing about me, I can see one thing and know when I saw it before. And I will put them side by side to make sure you see it too. That's one thing about me. You can't lie to me and tell me European carvers never saw a Native American. Bitch, you sound stupid as hell. Because you don't know how much time and energy that I got into this. Yeah, they saw plenty of them. Don't argue with me. Argue with your dust ass mama. Or argue with your mammy. With her long titty having ass. Go argue with your mama. Go argue with your mammy. Ask her why she ain't got a new nightgown. Titty hanging all out the nightgown. Get your ass roasted fucking with me. You don't know what you talking about. Don't know what you talking about. You know one thing about it though, you know an N-word when you see one though. One thing about it, they talk all this shit. You know an N-word when you see one.
Et l'Amérique négrée. Au bon sauvage. Au négré l'Amérique.
A bon savage, a nigre l'Amérique. They say the noble savage, tobacco Indians. I remember that what they said. They said the same thing about it like they said the clock. They call them a noble savage. Where is that? They call them a noble savage. Boy, they got so much evidence. They say today a cigar so Indian in its original condition is a rare find. Yeah, we know. The noble savage. The noble savage.
Au bon sauvage. Au négré l'Amérique. Au bon sauvage. Au négré l'Amérique.
Oops. English. What they saying? What is they saying? The noble black savage. To English. To the good black savage, the American. Our bone savage, nigre, et l'Amérique nigre.
Et l'Amérique négrée. Au bon sauvage. Au négrer l'Amérique.
They just told you. See, these $5 Indians, they don't want to get into this kind of stuff. They don't want to get into this. These $5 Indians do not want to get into this shit here. And I'm a nigga, they Noble Savage, Man, we gonna keep sticking our foot in their ass, man. This is all I'm gonna keep sticking my foot in their ass. I don't care if they shadow ban me. I don't care. The haters, they welcome to come. I'm gonna educate their ass too.